Yo guys, what's going on? I am George and this is You Wanna Watch. Welcome back to the shop and welcome back to another project. Today is going to be a redemption video. A couple of months back I did a brush axe. I wasn't too happy that I had to paint it. So this time we're going to see if we can't get that nice bright metal finish. I say without any further ado, we jump right into it. Let's go. Alrighty guys, well you kind of know what I'm gonna try and get into with this one. The other brush axe that I did was a Pexo and Wilcox. This one is a Kelly Works. You can see it stamped right here. It's not very deep, but I do believe that this is the original paint that was on there. The blade is actually still pretty sharp, so we're not gonna have to fiddle around with that too much, but I do want to get the paint off this. I want to get it stripped down to bare metal and hopefully a nice shiny finish. So let's start stripping this apart. Get it broke down. We will throw this on the wire wheel. Try and get as much of that paint off as possible. If we gotta use like a paint strip or something, then so be it. But I think we can get most of it with the... Is that just spinning on that side? Sure it is. Why wouldn't it? Alright. Alright, that's off. Alright, that's off. So the handle is in pretty good shape. Somebody was a lover of varnish. There is a whole lot of it on there. So we're gonna have to scratch that off there, and we'll scrape and sand the handle, probably restain it. And we do have to fix a whammo here in the background. That's a shame that big crack's off there, but I think we can taper that down a little bit, get rid of most of that. So I think that's what we're going to do. We'll probably throw it on the sander. Anyway, I want to throw this stuff on the wire wheel, get all the metal cleaned up first to see if this is actually going to work. So let's get readjusted for that, okay? Well, this band is definitely going to clean up. Of course, I got to get on the inside first. I just wanted to see how long it would take. Yeah, this stuff will clean up just fine. Let's try the head. Alright, well that's going to take quite a bit longer. This was repainted. There was a red underneath. I don't know if it's that, I forget what it's called, maybe oxblood primer maybe. But there is definitely something underneath this. So we're going to have to do something to try and remove the bulk of this paint. Let me come up with a solution. Alrighty, well let me show you what I did real quick. I ran this over the wire wheel just real fast to try and break the surface up just a little. Tell you why I did that. I'm going to use 2-in-2 gum cutter. This stuff is fantastic, absolutely fantastic. But if you've ever used this and you wound up getting overspray on something, you know exactly why I scored the surface of this up. This stuff will pull the paint off of anything. So we're just going to spray it on there, let it sit. You can already see it working. This stuff is crazy. No need for paint strippers or anything like that. Look at this. Like I said, that's going to get the bulk of that off there. Well, as you can see, all that paint came off there. Little tiny bit of red there, but we can get that out with the wire wheel. And of course, a little bit of this surface rust, again, will all come out with the wire wheel. So, I say we throw this on the wire wheel, get this cleaned up, and then we'll probably throw like a cut brush on here and really get it clean. So let's go and do that. Alright, well, that's about as shiny as I can get it. I don't know how these guys do that, but there we go. Can you see the reflection? So, there it is. I'm quite happy with this. This is how I wanted the other one to look. We're going to get started on the handle now. Set that off to the side. All of our hardware is cleaned up too, so that's quite cool. Let's get to scraping on this handle. There is a lot of lacquer on this, so this is going to be a while. That is all lacquer. Alrighty guys, well we are going to go with a English chestnut, and on top of that we're going to go with a dark finishing paste. So let's get a color on here. Let all the goodness shine through. It's probably going to take a couple of coats, but that's okay. Alright guys, well this is dried up enough to put some wax on here. We're going to put a couple of layers of this black finishing paste, or dark, I should say, finishing paste on there, not black finishing paste. We're going to let this dry up. I'm going to put a couple of layers on there. Try and get it as thick as possible, and then we will wipe her down with a nice clean rag, and that should give us the look that we want. Alrighty, well I'm going to cut a relief in this. And we are going to dry, probably just dry fit a wedge in the top of this, because it doesn't really need a wedge. I mean, it really doesn't, but I just wanted to put something in there. And I figured just putting a dry wedge in there would be plenty sufficient. So let me set this wedge home and we'll pick it up. Alright, we dry fit a wedge. She ain't going nowhere. Just going to chop her off with the quick saw here. Just ran the teeth across the metal. Cool. Like I said, she ain't going nowhere. And like I showed earlier, you can totally see your reflection in there. I got kind of the high shine that I wanted. That's awesome. Quite awesome. That's what I was looking for on the other one. I'm glad I could have gotten it on this one. Alrighty guys, well we are all done with the True Temper Kelly Works brush axe. This thing came out exactly how I envisioned. I am extremely happy. I tried doing one a couple of months ago. It didn't come out like I wanted. I wanted it to come out like this. I will leave a link in the description below for that video if you want to see that debacle. But I am extremely happy, guys. Really am. I love the clean, simplistic look. Shiny metal, nice dark stain, beautiful grain on the handle. Yeah, I am just really, really happy with this. I hope you guys are too. Like always, stay safe, be safe, and we will see you next week with another. Bye.